This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Muss obviously down by 17 at one point there in the first half, and you guys rallied back and trimmed it to 7 by halftime. Just looked like maybe a completely re-energized group in the second half. What just kind of keyed the turnaround there to get you guys a victory?
Obviously, second half pace of play, 47 points, and then defensively, I thought both halves. I mean, we held them to 34 both halves, which Missouri's a really good offensive team. They're to think that we outscored them in fast break points is a key statistic because of their pace of play. And then I thought the 15 offensive rebounds and the 17 second chance points, really helped us. And then I thought, to be honest with you, we just had too many self-inflicted turnovers. Obviously their defense will do that to you, but 7 steals is probably right around what they average. I don't think that, we had too many just turnovers on us that we need to clean up for sure. But Joseph Pinion, really changed our look offensively against that particular zone because he flattened it out by being a threat in the corner and then knocking shots down.
And then you mentioned it there, but you decided to start Joseph over Ricky there to start the second half, and it looks like it worked out on both ends of those for you. Joseph gave you a spark, and then Ricky came in and had a great second half. Do you feel like it did the job that you hoped it would do?
Yeah, I think that with any basketball team, if guys are playing large minutes, you can't take that for granted, and somebody's got to be there to. I don't know what word to use. The first word that comes to my mind is there's a threat for somebody to come in and take your minutes. Sure, there's a better word than that, but I can't find it right now. That was a decision I wanted to go with. It was easy. I walked into the locker room and made the decision without discussing it with anyone. I liked how Joseph was playing. I thought defensively, he walled up and did a really good job. I looked at that plus minus at halftime, and you guys can look at a halftime sheet and look at the plus minus as well. It was great for both guys. It was great for Ricky too, to see the team come out and play good in the second half. And then, we don't win the game without Ricky's second half isolations at the top of the key.
I guess motivation might be a good word.
That's a good one. You can use that, Bob, instead of the other word. Everybody.
No, I don't care. I'm just saying.
Put in parentheses, Bob Holt.
Yeah, you guys are down 17. I know you've been a second half team, and actually it started. You closed the first half on a 7-0 run. So and Joseph hit that big 3. But what's the thinking on the bench when you're down 17, and what was the key, do you think, to coming back like that?
Yeah, I don't have the stats in front of me from the first half, but the free throws attempted I thought was important to have a little bit more attack. Thought we did a good job against their zone of running our 5-man into random pick and rolls. And again, just the pace of play. I mean, I think you have a decision to make with Missouri. Do you want to run, or do you want to play a tempo game? And we wanted to obviously try to score in transition as much as we could. And then you have another decision. You have a dilemma because they're a great fast break transition team. Do you hit the offensive glass, or do you get back? So those two decisions are two decisions that you have to make. And we obviously decided to try to crash the offensive glass and not send 2 or 3 back. We sent 4, sometimes 5 to the offensive glass, and they do a great job of sometimes leaking out and getting transition baskets. But I thought we had some really good individual defensive performances. I thought Devo Davis did a phenomenal job defensively, and I thought that the combination of Kamani Johnson as well as Mekhi Mitchell did an excellent job on Kobe Brown, not giving up a 3-point attempt and only allowing 7 field goals attempted against a guy that had scored 61 points in the last 2 games against 2 ranked teams.
And then Devo, I know he had some kind of crazy passes that probably you didn't like, but he did have 10 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. What do you think of his all around game? You mentioned his defense.
Yeah, I thought his all around great game was phenomenal because obviously Hodge, number 5 is you look at his scoring numbers and what he's done thus far. I thought Devo did a great job of containing one of the league's, best scores. And then obviously his rebounds, his assists, all that. I thought he was phenomenal. That's why, I don't know what he played, 37 minutes.
Pinion hasn't played a ton of minutes this year, but did you have an idea coming in that he might be a significant player for you, or was it just kind of like the flow of the game with him playing 27 minutes tonight?
No, we felt, Hutch, I felt that we were going to get zoned tonight. And so I felt that he would, if in fact the first unit struggled, that he was going to be an option that we were going to have to look at. And then on the other end, they're a team that will try to find a matchup that they like and isolate you. And I thought he did a really good job defensively. And, probably the most surprising thing of Joseph's play when he's gotten minutes, he's done a pretty good job of defending guys, and I thought he did that again tonight. There's one blow by, but we had a lot of guys that got blown by once, so I thought he did a phenomenal job. I mean, he shoots the ball with confidence every day. When you watch your team spot shoot, he's an elite shooter, and the way their zone is where they have so many guys above the foul line, that deep corner was a sweet spot we felt for somebody.
And then also, even against LSU, y'all were a much better offensive team in the second half. What do you think is contributing to the slow starts? And then also, what's it say about your young team that y'all are able to kind of get things going in the second half?
Yeah, I think that it's all coaches' jobs, whether it's football, whether it's basketball. You've got to try to make an adjustment in the second half, and you hope your team can, if you do something on the fly, maybe changing, not running our zone offense like we did the first half. We went to what we call our open offense. And we went to middle pick and rolls and then being able to adjust on the fly. I thought helped us tonight. And, you do get worried about a young team being able to do that, but Anthony is so smart and Devo's been around and Kamani. And so those 3 guys really do a good job of, hey, this is what we're supposed to do. Now we got to go do it. Yeah, and he made significant strides with the -9 from, Yeah, I don't know. -18 is a lot. But he was absolutely vital scoring the basketball in the second half. And, he struggled at LSU for the most part, the whole game offensively, and, struggled in the first half. And so, we decided to make that change, but I told him in the locker room, really proud of not starting. And then when he got inserted into the game, not letting it discombobulate his brain or his confidence, because he looked like a guy that was pretty confident regardless of what I did.
We've talked about the offensive changes and improvements, but as far as defensively, you managed to limit their 3-point shooting a lot more in the second half than in the first. Just what was the difference there?
Great question. To start the game off, I made a decision that we were going to have a goalie, and their first basket was on me. We felt like, DeGray was a guy that the more shot attempts he would take, the less Brown and Hodge would take, quite frankly. He hit a 3. That's on me. There was another 3 hit off of a guy that we were kind of sagging off. So sometimes, you make a decision and you know, I mean, Gray was a guy that we wanted Kai to protect the rim and help on dribble drives. Probably would do it again too. You know, I mean, he only played 6 minutes. But that's probably why they had a couple. That's on me. Clean open shots.
And then Kamani had 8 rebounds, 3 of them on offense, and some real hustle plays. Just thoughts overall on his night.
Just the ultimate loose ball getter, the ultimate, you know, some guys rebound in their area, and Kamani's an excellent range rebounder. Excellent. And he's physical. He's kind of bouncing around, bouncing off bodies, and you know, he's got an incredible nose for the ball.
Eric, I don't know if you thought about this, but you lost your SEC home for the last 2 years, and they jumped out by 17. Obviously, it worked out okay. You guys went to the Elite Eight, so you recovered. But how big is it when you had a tough loss to LSU? How big was it to defend the home court and make sure you don't go to Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, I told the team, I mean, I don't know how many days we had, 7 days, 6 days. I mean, I told the team like it's a must win. I mean, I don't like to tell people that, but I mean, quite frankly, it was a must win tonight for us. And maybe that had an effect of how we played the first half, you know, because I've never told the team this early in the year, but I felt like with the toughness of the league that this was a game, especially because we had a long prep time. You know, that's, you know, if you have a long prep time, you know, I hope that we would, you know, play good basketball. And I thought we did defensively. I thought our shoot around, you know, in my opinion, shoot around's the most important practice that we had all week. Your game day shoot around, because it's your last mental reps that you get. And I thought our guys were locked in defensively. And again, maybe we worked too much defensively this week, but Mike Fratello, Chuck Daly, Hubie Brown, the guys that I've worked for, that shoot around's vital. And I thought our guys defensively today were locked in from a defensive scheme, and they understood the importance of trying to put extra emphasis on Brown and extra emphasis on Hodge, just like we did against LSU. I thought we did a phenomenal job against Miller and Williams, their 2 best players. So I think when you can make things difficult on star players that, you know, and other people are trying to score for an opponent, it helps your overall defense.
Ricky's obviously a good free throw shooter, but you know, a close game with less than 30 seconds, he's 5 out of 6. What do you think of that? What that say about him?
Yeah, I mean, we missed a front end of a 1-and-1 at LSU, and you know, you hope that doesn't carry over to the next game, which obviously it didn't. I mean, for Ricky to go 11 of 13, you know, from the foul line, we felt, since we've all gotten together and we do our little perfect free throw at the end of practice, he's one of the guys that's as good as anybody on our team. He shot technicals for us when we've been in that situation. So his drawing fouls and then his converting we need that from an offensive standpoint, especially when we struggle. Yeah, I thought he ran really hard, and we talk about not just getting to the corner, especially against a 1-3-1 or a 1-1-3, a zone that's a little bit more stretched out at the top is not just getting to the corner, but we call it the extreme corner. And then you got to have discipline to stay there if you're not getting the ball. And that's why even when Joseph did not score tonight, I thought he flattened things out, you know, for us from a spacing standpoint. If you don't have good spacing against Missouri, you're not going to give yourself a chance to win.
Eric, you guys are in some separation of 46, 42. They come back and tie it on a big time. But Ricky, it's a deep 3. And what he didn't have a great shooting night, but what you think of that shot? And I think you guys led the rest of the way. Kept coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky, other than that LSU game, has been a guy that we've relied on to make end of shot clock plays or end of game shots. He's a high field goal attempt player for us. He led us tonight in field goals attempted, and he can create his own shot. And the hardest thing in basketball is when the play breaks down, do you have enough players that can create your own shot? And Ricky is one guy in particular that does a great job of creating his own shot.
You always talk about wanting your guys to play with so much freedom offensively. And was that kind of the perfect microcosm of that, where you have Devo and Ricky able to kind of work through some of their struggles?
Yeah, I mean, we want our guys to play with great offensive freedom and to play with great discipline defensively. And that's something we talk about every day. And when we ended shoot around today, I said against a team like Missouri that will gamble, and a team that is a high steal team, there's going to be a lot of points in the game where you just got to play. There's a lot of broken plays, and you just got to be a basketball player. And I thought, especially in the second half, like I said, we just scrapped our zone offense and we went immediately into our open offense, which is really a 5-man motion type offense that we run against man-to-man when our plays break down. And I thought we did a good job of, in that open offense, finding gaps and then, like I said, running into some random 05 or our center running random pick and roll.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.